Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in B News English. Dear viewers, finally, the second round of technical talks between United States of America and Iran, mediated by Qatar and Pakistan, concluded in Switzerland. And there was a joint communique. In that communique, the main thing in the communique, it was said that an oversight committee has been formed. And in case of any miscommunication, misunderstanding, any violation of the peace agreement that is known as Memorandum of Peace, so the top negotiators will gather under the oversight committee, or they will approach that oversight committee, although the members of the committee have not been announced. And furthermore, it was said that technical level talks will continue till the weekend. And till the weekend mean maybe in the next couple of days, the micro technical details may be continued between United States of America and Iran. So in yesterday's development, Iran walked out of the negotiations after getting a content of a threatening U.S. president statement that appeared in the media, that also appeared in on Twitter, formerly known as newly known as X and formerly Twitter. To discuss this all, that how this journey will continue despite hazards, threats from both sides, from US as well and from Israel as well. We are joined by senior geopolitical analyst based in Washington, Mr. Anwar Iqbal, who is a journalist as well and a geopolitical analyst. Mr. Anwar Iqbal, very warm welcome to program Insight in V News English.
Thank you very much.
You have been watching these all developments in Switzerland, and finally, you have gone through this joint statement issued by Qatar and Pakistan. And when Qatar and Pakistan issued, definitely Americans and Iranians were taken into confidence about the content of this particular joint communique. So how you see the formation of an oversight committee? Do you think this oversight committee will definitely ensure that things goes smoothly? And as the communique also says, that technical level talks will continue. But one of the major things that was announced by United States, that was lifting off sanctions on Iranian oil, and even a notification was issued by U.S. administration. So how you see the conclusion of talks in Switzerland at the political level, which was mediated by Pakistan, and formation of this oversight committee? Do you think this oversight committee will ensure that things go smoothly in the days to come? Anwar Saab.
Okay, first of all, before we go into the details of that joint statement, it is important to remember that this statement was issued soon after it seemed as if the talks were over, the Iranians got upset and they were ready to go back to Iran. And then we suddenly heard that Pakistan and Qatar are soon going to issue a joint statement. And then the statement came, and the statement makes one thing very clear. Both the United States and Iran are willing and ready to stay engaged. That both countries realized that war is not a solution. If their disputes are resolved, they would only be resolved through talks, through negotiations, and by staying engaged. So it showed that the mediation initiated by Pakistan, later joined by Qatar, have led all parties to a level where they are showing their not only willingness but maturity to deal with this situation. That they understand the need for peace. They are willing to stay committed for peace. And then there is also a realization that these are all very sensitive, deeply rooted issues. They cannot be resolved overnight. And therefore, they need talks at all level. We in journalism have the tendency to ignore technical level talks because they do not make news. But they are always in any discussions. They are the most important part of the discussion because you see, like if there is a war and there are armies deployed on both sides of the border, and they have occupied some posts here, some posts there. They have entered each other's territory and occupied each other's territory. All these details have to be discussed by technical experts. If there is a nuclear dispute involved, then gets even more technical. How, I mean, the enrichment of uranium, the status of a lab, international requirements, all these things can only be discussed among these technical people. And so this agreement, this understanding to have technical talks is also very, very important. So they have agreed to do that. Then the next stage will come when these technical teams will send their proposals to their respective governments, and those governments will consider them, and then they will come to some conclusion, and then that will be presented to their leadership, and then that will lead to an agreement. So a clear roadmap has been laid out, and I am very satisfied with this development because this is the way to resolve an issue. Even if they issue a statement tomorrow and sign a piece of paper and go back home saying that, oh, we have resolved the dispute, but these technical things are not addressed, then there will be no agreement. That agreement will soon be violated, and the war will resume. Unless it is discussed technically, and unless there is an agreement on, like, the Strait of Hormuz, that is also a very technical issue. How would it be open? Yeah, how would it be open?
How much portion is with Iran? How much portion is with Oman? Exactly.
Yeah, and who would clear the mines? How all these ships, hundreds of ships, are stranded there? How they need to be? I mean, like, each ship requires at least a week or 10 days of work on it to move. So they need to be moved quickly. All these things. So whenever you hear that people have formed technical committees to deal with these things, that shows the level of seriousness, the level of involvement that they want to resolve this issue. So I'm very satisfied with it.
Why US President, who himself sent his team to negotiate with the Iranian, and at the same time, by issuing the statement, he was derailing the talks process. So what type of pressure he is facing?
See, both sides do that. Iranians also do that. I mean, they issue statements that also challenge America. He issues a statement because this is his strategy. See, but look at his
situation. Trump's strategy.
Yeah, look at his situation. He is the leader of a group within the Republican Party, which is called the MAGA group, which is Make America Great Again group. So if your main slogan is that you are here to make America great again, and if you are seen as engaging in talks that require America to relinquish some of its positions and to reach an arrangement with Iran, you do not look like making America great again. You see, perhaps it shows you as it exposes your weakness. So he has to make these statements to underline that he is still committed to this concept of making America great again, and that all the steps he's taking should not be, these steps should not be actually taken individually, but should be looked at collectively as means to reach that main goal, which is to making America great again. And that is why he makes such a statement. Most of those statements are not directed at Iran. Most of those statements are directed at his own supporters. And I will make another very important point, I think, which is that Iranians also understand that. That is why there is a lot of criticism within Iran of the decision to stay engage with America, for particularly after his latest statement, for staying engaged with him. And I saw those things on the social media. But they understand what Trump is doing and why he's doing it, and he understands what the Iranians are saying and why they're saying it. And I think both sides, despite all these statements, are committed to staying engaged.
How you see today's development as a result of talks in Switzerland as first part of the negotiation, US lifted sanctions on the sale of Iranian oil and a notification was even issued. So how you see Iran will start selling oil, how you see this particular development. So it will be reviving sale of Iranian oil, will be reviving Iranian economy. And another factor is that there will be an easy movement of ships carrying Iranian oil from Strait of Hormuz to the rest of the world, mainly to China.
Well, that's a very, very important step. That is a very important step towards normalization, towards rebuilding relations with Iran. I think that is what the United States wants. It does not just want to end the war. It wants to resume its relationship with Iran, and the Iranians would also be willing at a later stage. I think things are moving in the right direction.
How you see the future of this great deal, which has been signed by the US President, Iranian President, and Prime Minister of Pakistan as mediator? Question of Israel.
Israel is there in South Lebanon, okay, and it has said in so many words that it is not planning to withdraw its troops from that part of Lebanon anytime soon. Okay. Why? Because Israel feels insecure. Israel sees itself as a country which is opposed by all the countries around it. And it does not trust anyone. So it wants to be in a position to defend itself, and that it believes can only happen if all of the nations around Israel are weaker than Israel militarily. Okay, that is Israel's goal. But the United States has the power and in the influence to persuade Israel to accept any international deal that is made with Iran. But to do so, Israel will have to be assured that whatever arrangement is made, it will also ensure Israel's security and Israel defenses, and that is something that will need to be discussed between Iran and the United States. And I think those will be discussed, and they will be able to find something that is also acceptable to Israel. Otherwise, there will be no peace.
What do you think in the days to come, in the post-deal scenario or the post-deal time? Do you think the American strategic communication with Tel Aviv will continue with same momentum, or it will be reduced?
No, it will not be reduced. I mean, the relations between two governments can strain. Between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu can strain, but relations between Israel and the United States will remain strong. There will be ups and downs because the United States sees Israel as a key ally that protects American interest in the Middle East, and Israel sees the United States as a country that is key to its survival, and therefore both will stay engaged and will continue to work with each other.
How you see finally, at media interaction in Switzerland, the US Vice President was for all praise for Pakistan's Field Marshal, Mr. Asim Munir. So how you see the role played by Pakistan's Field Marshal? Three things: the military diplomacy, the diplomacy by Pakistani Foreign Ministry.
Pakistan played its cards very smartly. It has been appreciated everywhere. Pakistan is the only country in that region that has good relations with the United States, good relations with Iran, good relations with China, very good relations with China, very good relations with Saudi Arabia, has good relations with Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, and when the first round of talks were held in Islamabad, Egypt, Qatar, Turkey,
exactly.
all came and participated, and Saudi Arabia. So Pakistan took advantage of this situation and presented itself as a viable trustworthy mediator, and it did played its role very well. And I think it is being appreciated within the country as well as outside. And I think Pakistan has found a new role for itself in the international arena, that of a peace mediator, a peace negotiator, and Pakistan should maintain this posture.
How United States can help Pakistan in stabilizing its economy. So what do you think? It's not only US, the institution that comes under US, the World Bank. Pakistan is in the dire need of constructing two major water reservoirs. Pakistani economy needs stabilization. Pakistani economy need that there has to be.
I understood your question, Mateen, and our entire argument is wrong. We are still living in the Cold War era when countries used to provide economic aid to other countries. That's not going to happen again. We will need to believe in what we say. We also say that trade, not aid. Okay,
trade, exactly.
So if this issue is resolved peacefully, it will open new venues for Pakistan to trade with Iran, to trade with other nations. I mean, if the Iran gas pipeline is completed, how much? I don't know, 750 million barrels or whatever, whatever measurement is used for gas.
So it can turn around Pakistani economy.
It will be huge, I mean, it can turn around the Pakistani economy. Then there'll be reconstruction in Iran in which Pakistan can get involved. Then it will open new opportunities. If there is peace in Balochistan, it will attract investment from American and other Western companies to come and invest in Balochistan and other parts in Pakistan. It will encourage China to resume its efforts to rebuild the Pakistani economy. But first of all, we have to prepare ourselves as a trade-friendly nation, which is willing and capable of attracting international business, international traders, international businesses. We have to change our thinking that, okay, we did this happen, therefore somebody is sending money to us. Nobody is sending money to us. There will be no more aids.
Can Pakistan's huge foreign loans could be rescheduled? Is there any possibility that
those things can be done? But if we start saying that because we negotiated a peace with Iran and therefore reschedule our loans, no, that will not work. We have to say that, look, we have built our economy. We are doing this. Our economy is moving forward, and therefore reschedule our loans so that we can do further too. Then the world will know. What is it? I mean, these loans are investment by banks. They give you money because they want. They not only want their money back, they also want profit. So if you prove that you are able to do that, you are able to return their money, you are able to give them the benefit that they demand, only then they will be willing to work with you.
How you see in the post ceasefire or in the post this peace agreement, how you see the new security outlook of the Middle East and the role by Pakistan and Saudi Arabia?
Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have a defense pact. It suits Saudi Arabia, it suits Pakistan, and they will stay engaged. This pact will remain, and they will continue to work together. The worst case scenario for us could have been a direct war between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Then that would have forced us to take sides, which did not happen. And Pakistan played a very big role in preventing that. And I think that the situation as it is now should continue. There should be no war between Iran and Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan troops should stay in Saudi Arabia to ensure its security, but without getting involved in a war with Iran. And I think this peace will make sure that there is no more war with Iran, and the two countries, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, can continue to work with each other.
What do you think? America will continue to have that strong influence on Middle East, which it used to enjoy before war? Now, after the war, a lot of things have happened.
I think America is going to maintain its basis. If anything,
and its influence as well.
Well, if the bases are there, influence will be there. It will further strengthen those bases. It will further deepen its relationship with some Arab countries, and I think America will remain as a superpower in the near future. I think that's not going to change anytime soon.
So, what about Abraham Accords' future and the Greater Israel's future after this signing of the peace deal?
Well, Abraham's Accord or the effort to persuade Arab countries to recognize Israel will continue. Americans will want it, Israel wants it, and I think there will be, right now they will not discuss it, but there will be more opportunities for Israel and the United States to push for it.
Pak-US final future relationship?
I think, our relations with the current government, current administration in Washington are very strong. And President Trump is there for the next 2 years. And I think they will remain strong in this during the next 2 years. And Pakistan will get the opportunity to rebuild its economy with support from the United States, not aid, but support from the United States. And President Trump likes the current leadership in Pakistan, and he is very much willing to continue working with them. So I think the relationship will remain strong. What happens after the next election, who comes to power, is a different game that we don't know yet. If the Democrats come, what will be their position? Will they try to undo some of the things that President Trump does now, or will they continue those things like the agreement with Iran, etc.? That will be a totally different scenario. But right now, for the next 2 years.
But in November midterm election, do you think this will have a positive impact on U.S. president?
I think if you go by America's political history, no, I mean there were only 2 occasions when the party that controls the White House won the midterm elections. I mean, traditionally, they always lose the midterm election. That is the way the American public runs its democracy. They give the White House to one party and Congress to the other, so that Congress could keep an eye on the administration for the next 2 years. So I think this time, too, the Republicans may lose Congress to the Democrats.
The Republicans may lose the Congress.
Yeah, they may lose both the House and the Senate. But, I mean, you can never know. I mean, Trump has always proven all these predictions wrong. So he can actually win the midterm as well.
There is possibility and there is fear as well that they may lose. Yes, they may win. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Anwar Iqbal, based in Washington, senior geopolitical analyst, for sparing time and talking to V News English program Insight about talks between United States of America and Iran, mediated by Qatar and Pakistan. Till our next episode, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.